Hi, this is Keith J. Murphy, comic art therapy guy. I know you've never really seen my face, but this is it. And I thought it might be good to talk about something that we all go through, which is loss, understanding grief and loss. Did a training, full day training a few weeks back with my partner down the hall, Gene Ayat. The trainer is Ligia Houben, excellent trainer. And basically we're talking about losses across a lifetime. How do we become empowered through loss was kind of thrown out there. What resources do you use? She has pretty much 11 principles, which I'm not going to get into today, but I thought what would be interesting is to get into some of the information that she started with, which she introduced us to the organization called ADEC, ADEC, Association of Death Education Counseling. They're online. It's a good resource. The gist of what I got out of the training was that we live in a very death denial society and also a very aging denial society. Loss is change, any change. So the greater the loss, the greater the attachment. The closer we are to someone or something, the harder it is to let go. And we discussed losses through life. So it started with, childhood children. They lose their pets. They have divorce. Parents might lose a favorite toy. Blended family dynamic changes everything when parents remarry. Loss of grandparents. Loss of myths, which I thought was really interesting, like finding out that there's no such thing as a certain individual that comes around at Christmas time, Easter Bunny, etc. In adolescence, we're talking about loss of childhood gone, loss of innocence, loss of maybe an ideal parent, maybe a loss of a friend to suicide, substance abuse issues, maybe a loss of sense of purpose. In adulthood, loss of a job, loss of child, loss of health, loss of freedom in a relationship, a loss of a parent. And then in an older adults and elderly, multiple losses. We're kind of on bereavement overload at this point. There's a loss of mobility with driving, maybe dementia, brain functioning loss, loss of control in general, loss of a spouse. Again, excellent training. I got a lot out of it. Maybe I might do another video discussing more of her 11 principles. If you can get to her training, I really suggest it. I'm going to end on a quote, one of many quotes she gave, but that I thought was noteworthy. The greatest loss. It's based on your own story. So the greatest loss is the one that happens to you. The greatest loss is the one that happens to you. And that's Earl Groman. I'm Keith J. Murphy. Be well, and we'll see you next time.